Look, one last dance. This is the perfect transition into our France versus Argentina World Cup final preview. And look, I'll give you your props. You predicted this matchup at the very beginning of the World Cup. We did our prediction video, and you predicted this, and you ultimately went on to change your mind. I will add that in there. But you did predict this at the start. You said France would be playing Argentina come this match, and it's exactly what happened. And look, there's so much to unpack and get into with this game. There's so many storylines, whether you want to talk about the teams itself, individual storylines. There's so much to talk about with this matchup. But I'll just go ahead and pass this one off to you first with your overall just initial thoughts coming into the game for both teams.
What soon as the final whistle blew in that Morocco France game, I immediately hopped on Instagram and I reposted the rematch because this is what this was. This is what I predicted before this tournament started, that it would be a rematch of the round of 16 game in that 2018 World Cup, where Argentina, when they originally played, that was a very poor Argentina side, and they were winning part in that game. They were up in that game. There was moments where they struck that French team, and it took basically Mbappe transforming into some like creature to fully outgun this team. But there was moments where even that Argentina team had good chances against France, and now I think the roles have flipped a little bit to where this French team is not as good as it was in 2018, and this Argentina team is miles better than what they were. And I mean, I'm sticking to obviously what I picked this entire tournament. Argentina are going to win this game. I I obviously, when the day gets closer, I'm gonna be nervy and stuff, but I'm right now. I cannot see this Argentina team losing. It having the greatest player ever, it having people that are willing to literally die to win this for Messi. I saw players crying saying, "I just hope we can win this for Leo." Like this game means so much. It's the biggest game in this entire every player on the Argentina's roster's entire lives, and it's gonna be the essence of the World Cup. It's gonna be exactly what this tournament was made for. Everything this tournament is advertised as. It's gonna be must see. It's the World Cup final that we've wanted to see. I mean, it's the best of South America versus the best of Europe. It's gonna be absolutely must see, and it's gonna I'm gonna be at the edge of my seat. You know, Mbappe versus Messi. That's gonna be so awkward for to go back to club. I mean, even if Messi loses, bro, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say to Mbappe after that. But it's gonna be definitely the highest level of football you can watch. And if you're not a football fan, watch this game. This is the one game you should watch. If you're gonna watch any game, watch this game because it's just gonna be the best you can possibly see. And I'm gonna hold out that I think this is gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, and I could see it possibly being 3-4. I think, because sometimes, I think both these teams can get at. I think Argentina is a good defensive team, but we've seen that they can be scored on. I mean, we saw the Netherlands score two goals on them in 10 minutes. I mean, especially when you're going up against like the firepower France have. But I think the grit of Argentina and how it is not very hard to break down this French team as many good players they've had. I mean, we've seen Argentina be able to break down teams, and I think this is going to be a high scoring match. I see Argentina winning this 4-3.
So you're seeing like the reversal of what it was in 2018.
Yeah,
So and that would be funny if it did happen like that because in 2018 Croatia beat Argentina 3-0,
3-0.
and then it reversed. So if that did happen, that would be funny to a certain extent. But I would just say that this is going to be absolute must see TV. Look, pretty much every match in the World Cup, you got to have your eyes glued to it because it only comes around every 4 years. But this match is the match of all matches, the grand finale. I mean, this is what you pay the big bucks to see. I literally, if this was pay per view, I'm paying for it. This is Messi versus Mbappe, France versus Argentina. The storylines in this game are absolutely endless. I mean, look, they played in 2018. It was an absolute magisterial match, and it was one of the matches of the 2018 World Cup. And France were able to go on and win that whole World Cup. And if Argentina were able to get it done, even in 2018, you could say potentially they would have went on and won the World Cup. So that was maybe a mini final in itself. And then now they're replaying it, 2022 in the actual final. It is just, I predicted Argentina to make it this far the entire World Cup. I've died on this hill, and I'm not budging. I'm not changing my mind. I firmly believe Argentina will win this match. I think that this France team is just quite simply not as good as they were in 2018, and I've said it the whole World Cup, and I've been wrong to a certain extent because I've said that even at the beginning of our pre-tournament predictions, I said that this France team, I didn't think that they were going to make it this far because they don't have the same quality. I didn't rate them as highly, and they've proven me wrong. They have shown that they definitely have the quality. They are still world class in almost every position, and they're deserving to make it this far. But I think that this Argentina team, like I said earlier, the team of destiny, and they are willing to die to win this game. And it's not only the fact that they want to win the World Cup for themselves, but they want to win it for Messi. They would do anything to win it for their goat. This is a part of history. This is literally potentially ending the goat debate. There's so much more to this game than even just the fact that it is the World Cup final. And when it comes down to tactically, I think you know Argentina, the way that they play, they're so feisty. They're so difficult to break down. They don't let you necessarily always get into a good rhythm. And while they are very good at getting into their rhythm, and they can get into their rhythm very quickly, and even if there are moments of lapses of concentration, like we've seen at some points throughout the tournament, they're always able to pull through and get it done. And they're coming off of their best game. This Croatia performance that just happened was their absolute best game of the tournament. And what better time to have your absolute best performance than right before the biggest match of everyone in that team's life, against France. So I think that their confidence is absolutely sky high. I think that they've got Julian Alvarez, who is going to play another magisterial game. I think he's going to play fantastic. I think he's going to do everything that he's done the entire tournament and even more. He's going to give 150% effort, and this guy is going to run the entire game. He's going to press, 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 and he's also going to do what he needs to do in terms of linking play. As the nine. You don't have to do necessarily so much when you've got Lionel Messi there to kind of help you out. But he's able to contribute in that way as well. He's able to stretch defenses. He's able to do it all for this Argentina team. That's why I've said from the very beginning that this guy is the perfect striker to play in this Argentina team with Lionel Messi because of what he offers to the team. And then you just go down the line, the midfield. They are willing to run all day, and they are just so good at not only retaining possession, but just absolute being pressing machines. And Enzo Fernandez has really come into his own in this World Cup, and he's proven why he's going to get such a big money deal to a big club in Europe. I don't know who it's going to be, but someone is going to come get this kid because he's been playing absolutely immensely. But besides the fact that he missed a penalty against the Dutch, I just think that this Argentina team, I don't see them losing. I just can't. It's hard for me to even fathom it because I just think this is the team of destiny, and this is not taking away anything from France. I barely even talked about them. I think it's unfair for me to just talk about Argentina. This France team they're very good. There's no doubt about it. They're deserving to make it this far, but I just think tactically speaking, Argentina are going to have the answers for Kylian Mbappe as much as you can, and if you're able to stop Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, he's going to be on the other wing. He hasn't had the best tournament. He's good, but he hasn't been at his best necessarily, as good as we know he can be. And I think it just comes down to a certain extent. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but can you neutralize Antoine Griezmann? Because he's been the absolute talisman of this French team. And can you neutralize him? Can you not allow him to do the things that he's been doing to link up the play for this French team? And I think Argentina have the answers. They're going to be able to do that. Give me Argentina winning this match in a 3-2 game. You said 4-3. I think it's going to be 3-2. It's going to be high scoring. I could see it ending 4-3, but give me 3-2. I just think Argentina conceding 3 goals, I don't know if I see that happening. But this France team, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be them because
Yeah, I mean,
when they get going, they can score on anybody and they can pound it on you. They can get at you in so many different ways. And one point before I think we move on to of the other maybe talking points about this match. I'm a little bit nervous though about the impact that Olivier Giroud is going to have on this match. Obviously, we all know I rate Giroud so highly. I think he is, you know, look, if anyone's going to replace Karim Benzema, Olivier Giroud is the guy because this guy is so important to this France team and how he links up the play, how he plays with Kylian Mbappe. He is like the perfect striker to play in this France team if you're not going to have Benzema. And I think we've seen it against the Dutch. Wout Weghorst, he came on for 20 minutes and he scored 2 goals, but his aerial presence was able to kind of rattle Argentina to a certain extent. And I just don't know if France are going to maybe go with tactical kind of ideas of trying to be more aerial and attack this Argentinian defense with crosses and things of that nature. If they do go that way, Olivier Giroud, we all know how much of a threat he can be in the air, and I think that might be one of the ways you get at this Argentina team outside of possession play or anything like that. Aerially, we've seen Otamendi and Romero; they are willing to put their life on the line here, but they still can be get at aerially. And Olivier Giroud, we know what he can do in the air. So I think that's one potential cause for concern. But all things considered, you know, it doesn't make me change my mind.
Yeah. I would say the same. I mean, you look up and down this French team, any one of these players on their day can beat you. I mean, literally, it could be a rocket from Chouameni, it could be Griezmann, it could be Giroud, it could be it could be a sighting of Dembele. Dembele hasn't played very well, but I think Dembele, his contribution to this team has been very I think it's been good. He's done a lot of stuff that hasn't showed up in the score sheet, but I think his dribbles and his attacking from that wing have been pretty well. And obviously the main man, Kylian Mbappe. I mean, this Argentina team still knows what Mbappe did to them 4 years ago. I mean, that performance. I remember they were clocking his speeds and they were like Olympic, level speed. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. At the time he was running at what, Mascherano? Like, bro, my God, man. The dude, like, what these are like
Like
retired
Marcos
players
Rojo
basically.
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Marcus Rojo, bro. It's like chill out, man. But obviously I think there's been somewhat of a good because I know Scaloni's been watching every single one of these games. That he's seen how teams have somewhat kind of neutralized Mbappe, and I'm sure he's already had something planned up to do something similar to kind of stop Kylian Mbappe. And you know, I think it's going to be to the similar thing. I think we're going to see, not as much as Mbappe. I don't think they're basically going to have someone else beat them. If anybody's going to beat this Argentina team, I don't think it's going to be Mbappe. They're not going to allow it. It's going to have to be someone else. It's going to have to be a Giroud. It's going to have to be a Griezmann. It's going to have to be one of those guys. But you know, I back Argentina, and God, if Argentina don't do it, I don't know how. I, dude, I can't even remember how many times in sports I've been heartbroken. I think the last time I've ever been truly heartbroken, I think was the Miami Heat's Game 7 loss to the Celtics. But God, this would be next level, man. Like this is like basically the last game we ever see Messi play, and probably an Argentina kid. I don't know if he loses his final. I don't know if he comes back for the Copa America. God knows what Messi does. I mean, but hopefully we can get the ending that we want, and we could finally, put a stamp on that. There's just no more debate about this. Like, it's not even a conversation. It's not even like something I ever want to talk with somebody about. Like
I,
the who is the greatest player of all time.